Hello? Hi everyone, the webinar is going to start in just a little bit. I'm just here testing, so you guys all get to be part of the testing portion. So Nina, I saw that you had a request. I'm going to try to invite you here. Looks like it's converting attendee into presenter. Hi everyone, just testing stuff out. So I have a couple of, oh, here we go again. You, Stephanie, I see you raising your hand. I'm going to try and invite you as a speaker. I'm getting texts that people can see me. Can you guys hear me too? Love you guys. I'll go to the chat room. Oh, Nina, you can't speak. I don't know why. Are you on the internet or on the phone? Stephanie?
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. We've got some viewers here already, so they get to see us in our testing out mode.
Awesome.
Yes.
So you can hear me okay. So I'll go ahead and mute.
Yes. Yes. Perfect. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. And Nina, no webcam. Okay. Okay, cool. So another presenter is working on downloading some stuff. So hi everyone. I have a slide to show you guys as everyone's waiting. So I'm going to try and put that on. It might be a little loopy for a second. There you go. So as you guys are popping in on the webinar, I want to point out that there's a chat box at the bottom where you can write a message. I'd love for you to say hello and share your name, why you're here, what you're hoping to get out of the webinar, what inspired you about getting on this call. And you can also shift the chat to Q&A if you have a question that you want to ask. So I'd love for you guys to go ahead and start getting to know each other and sharing why you're here. Okay, well, it's 5:30, so welcome everyone. I just want to review this fabulous slide that I put together to help you get the most out of this webinar. This call has the potential to change the entire course of your life. Yes, really. Do not let this workshop be a side project while you're doing other things. Really give yourself the gift of your time, love, and presence. Do whatever you need to do to get present for yourself. Have a glass of water, have pen and paper handy to take notes. I do have a workbook for you guys. If you don't have that with you, I'm going to have a link for you to get that real quick. Turn off your phone, close the door so you won't get interrupted. And I'm going to switch back to me for a minute. Hi. Awesome. Well, hello, Nina, Stacy, Kevin, Denise, Christina, Stephanie, I know you're here. Oh, and there's a request. Nina, I see your request to speak. We'll give that one a shot when we're ready for you, but it looks like it might be working there, so I'm excited for that. So hi, I'm really glad you're here. Welcome to Summer Body Love, break free from self-sabotage and live the healthy, delicious life you've always wanted. Really excited that you guys are here. I have a lot of great information to share, and I'm really excited just to connect with you. So I'm going to be in and out of the chat box and looking at the questions as they come. I have two computers open, so I'm here with you, and then I'm going to be looking over there. So Jackie, hi, see you're here too. And I think people are going to be rolling in as we go, but I am excited to be with you all. I'm going to start the slides, and we're going to have a lot of fun stuff as we go. So I'm going to share this with you again. Sorry, it's a little nutty in the process, but here we go. Okay, great. So as I mentioned before, as people were joining us earlier, please introduce yourself in the chat box and share what you want to get out of today's webinar. I'm really excited to have you guys here. And this is Summer Body Love, break free from self-sabotage and live the healthy, delicious life you've always wanted. Actually, one moment. Sorry for the snag. I just want to make sure that I have this being recorded. It is. Okay, great. Okay, so as you guys are introducing yourself, I will introduce myself. My name is Kristen Kanzler, and I work with women who want to feel amazing in their body and have a healthy, happy relationship with food, but somehow, in spite of their best intentions and being good all day, they end up on the couch with a pint of ice cream or a bag of chips, feeling defeated and exhausted. I specifically work with smart, successful women who feel like they've tried everything and nothing has worked. So you start out with a new diet, a new exercise routine, a sense of determination and discipline, and then life shows up and you fall off track, you can't seem to stick with it, and you keep slipping back into your old patterns. And you're wondering, why does this keep happening? What's wrong with me? Why can't I just stick with it? And maybe you find yourself saying, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. And that's so frustrating. If this is you, you're in the right place. I put this call together because I know what you're going through. I know the frustration and the disappointment of struggling with issues with food in your body. And after working with private clients at a deep personal level for over 6 years now, I've noticed some interesting patterns among all of my clients. And there are 3 key patterns that really stand out. And I want to share what I know with anyone who's struggling to eat healthy and lose weight and can't for the life of you understand why you just can't just do it. So I'm going to shed some light on what's really going on and what you can do to have the breakthroughs that you need to eat healthy, love your body, and transform this area of your life for good. I help you get to the root of what's really going on, underneath the cravings, underneath the patterns of overeating, so you're able to make real change in your life and your health and how you feel in your body forever. And make sure you're eating healthy, nourishing, and delicious foods that you love along the way. This is something that I'm incredibly passionate about because it's something that I struggled with personally for 20 years. So I know firsthand how difficult and destructive emotional eating can be. I spent a lot of time binging, feeling out of control, feeling ashamed and disappointed in myself, and wondering, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just get it together? And I also know how liberating it is to be free and to not have to struggle, to release the weight in a way that actually feels effortless, and to feel fully connected to my body, to my life, and the world around me. I tried diets, meal replacement shakes, gym memberships, personal trainers, therapy, hypnosis, seriously anything. And I want to hear over in the chat box, does this sound familiar? And just share with everyone what you've tried, different diets or therapies or exercise routines, Atkins, Weight Watchers. There's so many things out there. I'd love to hear what people have been doing. And after 2 decades, I was finally able to figure out what was really going on, what was really at the heart of everything. And when I did that, I transformed my body, I transformed my life, and I transformed how I showed up in the world. I went from binge eating every night to eating healthy, dropping 20 extra pounds, having a healthy relationship with food, and feeling confident in my body. And in the chat box, now I'd love to hear, how would your life change if you had a healthy relationship with food and felt healthy and confident and alive in your body? What are the things that would open up for you? What would your before and after look like? And I see more people are jumping on the chat box. It's great to see Karen, Megan, Elaine. Thank you guys for sharing. Yeah, self-sabotaging behavior. We'll talk about that. Just want to lose my extra weight. Hopefully this webinar will flip my switch Yes, Lisa, me too. Thank you guys for sharing. So speaking of before and after, here's my before and after. I have so few pictures of me at larger weights because I was just humiliated. I found this one though. This was from back in college, and the difference here that I hope you can see is not just, I mean, clearly I lost about 30 pounds in my face alone, but it's really just this overall transformation. It's in my entire being that, you know, on the left, I'm wearing baggy clothes, I'm drinking Coke, there's a beer bottle behind me, I'm wearing, you know, these baggy clothes that hide me. And then on the right, you know, I'm wearing something pretty sexy. I'm standing taller, I have this brighter smile, and there's just a sense of confidence and freedom that I have now that I'm just so thrilled about and I want for all of you. So today, I'm going to share with you the 3 key step-by-step strategies that will help you break free from self-sabotage, drop that extra weight, have a healthy relationship with food, and feel confident in your body. And here's what you're going to learn. The number 1 mistake smart women make when trying to lose weight and what to do instead. A 3-step plan to kick your cravings so you can finally stop obsessing about food, feel confident in your body, and trust your inner voice. Why trying to have more discipline actually works against you and what you need to focus on instead. And special thank you for everyone who responded to my email asking what triggers you. And by far, the top 2 responses are feeling stressed and feeling bored. So I'm also going to discuss a 4-step process to practice when you're feeling triggered. And we have some success stories. Stephanie, who's on the left, and Nina, who's on the right. They're both going to be with us today to share their journey and their wisdom. So it's going to be a really full training. We have about an hour, and there's a lot to cover. So I'm also going to give you an opportunity to speak with me one-on-one, where we can go much deeper into what's going on for you personally. And you're gonna want to take advantage of this opportunity because it can actually change your life. I promise you. There's gonna be a bonus for the live callers. So yay, everyone who's here now. And we're gonna do some Q&A. So one of the things I want you to get out of tonight's call is that transforming your relationship with food and your body is completely possible for you. Even if you've tried everything and nothing has worked. So I want to tell you more about my background and how everything changed for me. And you can see the parallels between your life and mine. And I see Stacy, thank you so much. That I look nice in the first one, much more radiant in the newer one. That's sweet, thank you. So I grew up loving food. And that wasn't a problem until I was about 12 years old and I started to use food as a way to deal with my life. Very quickly, I went from being totally carefree around food to constantly being on a diet and in a cycle of binging and shaming myself. For years, I dealt with anorexia, bulimia, when I had eating disorders when I was much younger, and then later on, dealing with binge eating, sugar cravings and addiction, yo-yo dieting, gaining and losing the same 20, 30 pounds over and over and over. You name it, I had it. And I tried everything out there. I mentioned a lot of this earlier. Diets, therapy, personal trainers, pills, shakes, hypnosis, and nothing worked. No matter what I tried, I kept going back to these destructive eating patterns. And then on top of that, feeling completely out of control and feeling like a failure. In fact, I felt so out of control that when I was 16, I asked my mom if I could get my jaw wired shut. And I thought, when I heard about this thing that you could do, I thought, finally something that will make me stop, because nothing else was working and I felt completely helpless. After college at UC Santa Barbara, I took my degree in communication to corporate America. I was there for a number of years, but I was bored to tears. And so I moved to New York and I went to the Natural Gourmet Institute for Health, which is a health supportive culinary school. However, it was not the glamorous experience I was hoping for. Instead of meeting new people and exploring the city and everything that Manhattan has to offer, I spent most of my time binging to the point that I couldn't leave my bed. I felt isolated and alone. I was overworked, stressed, I lacked the confidence to date, I didn't have the energy to go out, and I was embarrassed about how I looked. And I'm curious, just in the chat box, have you been saying no to things because you don't feel good in your body, you're embarrassed about how you look, and you're just not engaging fully in life like you want to be? So after culinary school, I became a pastry chef, where I very promptly picked up a sugar addiction. I gained 30 pounds in the first year. I was on an absolute roller coaster with my energy. I had headaches and I was dealing with anxiety and depression. I just had really low self-esteem. After 2 years, I knew I had to get out. So I worked as a personal chef for a few years and then became a health and wellness editor for Glam Media. And while I was there, I attended lectures and workshops and just dove into the world of holistic health and healing, addressing the whole person. And all of the pieces finally came together. I learned how to heal inside and out, both by the foods that I ate and by getting to the root of what I was really eating over. And my life was transformed. And I had this day where I was sitting outside in the sunshine, eating this delicious meal, and it dawned on me, I was finally free. After 20 years of hating myself and my body, trying to fix and change myself, and diet and shame my way to the perfect body, I was finally free of all of that. And a whole new world opened up for me. That was 6 years ago, and I tell you this because it's not like it was 6 months ago, and this is a brand new thing. This is something that happened a number of years ago, and after struggling for a couple of decades, having 6 years of freedom is pretty damn great. So the stuff really works. It's lasting. It's a life transformation. It's not about dieting. It's a whole transformation. We're going to get much more into this. So it's not a quick fix. It's the real deal. And I know what's possible when all the pieces come together, and that the struggle, frustration, and hopelessness that you're feeling right now can be transformed into freedom, ease, and joy. And you don't have to starve yourself, have more willpower, or just try harder. There is another way. Yay! That's what we'll dive into now. Cool, and I see more comments coming in. Thank you guys for sharing. Yeah, not being able to fit into some of your favorite clothes. I know, that's so hard. Yeah, thank you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna take you on a journey through the 3 areas that need to be addressed: physiological, emotional, and psychological. So we'll be starting with the more external, superficial areas that are a little easier to look at and deal with, and then we'll be moving into the deeper areas where the deeper transformation is. All three areas are absolutely essential. So let's start with the physiological. And the number one, oh, and also, I'm sorry, I promised that I would have a link for the workbook. I can't access that too quickly. I will have that for you guys. And hopefully you have that with you. If you don't, no worries. Hopefully you have some notes and this will be recorded too. So, not to keep you hanging, the number one mistake that smart, successful women make when trying to lose weight is going all day without eating. So let me paint the picture here. You wake up and you're already short on time. You've got to get the kids ready, you've got to get yourself ready, get out of the house to get to work on time, and then you're busy at work with meetings and deadlines and a long list of everything that has to get done. Before you know it, it's lunchtime, snack time, or even dinner, and you've hardly had a bite all day, and you're eating anything in sight. Whatever's quickest, easiest, whether that's takeout, delivery, or headed straight to the snack drawer. Maybe you have some time to cook dinner, but you're famished, and then you end up eating way too much. And then you get upset at yourself for not having enough willpower or control. I have great news for you. What's actually happening has nothing to do with willpower. That's right, nothing to do with willpower. What's happening is that when you go all day without eating, or if you're skipping meals, either because you're too busy or because you're on a diet and you're trying to eat less, your blood sugar is dropping. And your body needs to have your blood sugar at a steady level in order to function. So here's a fancy blood sugar chart, and I'll just get to the meat of it. So at the top here, you can see when you eat too much, either too many calories or too many carbs, your blood sugar spikes and your body stores fat. Now at the bottom, when you don't eat enough, or if you're skipping a meal, your blood sugar drops. And when your blood sugar drops, your body is burning muscle and holding on to fat because it thinks that it's in starvation mode and it needs to store what it has. Also, your energy crashes and your cravings increase. But when your blood sugar is stable, in the middle section there, it's safe for your body to release fat. Your body's protecting its lean muscle. It eliminates your physiological cravings and increases your energy. So balancing your blood sugar eliminates binges because you're actually working with your body by creating internal balance with your hormones. It eliminates binges, it eliminates physiological cravings. And internal balance means there's no internal struggle. Oh, Christina, thank you for posting the workbook link. You're awesome. Great, so how do you balance your blood sugar? I'm going to teach you how to do it in 3 simple steps. So the first step is to have quality protein, healthy fats, and complex carbs at every meal and snack. So here are some sources of quality protein. Meat, chicken, fish, eggs, quinoa, and of course, whenever possible, getting organic, free range, wild caught, all that stuff is great. Some sources of healthy fats: avocado, extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, and all nuts and seeds are great sources of healthy fats. Some sources of complex carbs are whole grains, brown rice, whole wheat, and all fruits and vegetables are complex carbs too. So having some combination of all of these in every meal and every snack is the first step. The second step is to eat every 3 to 4 hours. And the third step is to spread your calories evenly throughout the day. So let's look at this. If you have, let's say you have breakfast is like 100 calories. And this is an extreme example just to drive the point home. So let's say your breakfast, you have one meal of 100 calories and then another meal of 1,400 calories. That equals 1,500 calories. However, if you have 3 meals of 500 calories or 5 meals of 300 calories, that's also 1,500 calories. And you can see, if you think back to that chart and understand what's going on with your blood sugar, this is going to have a completely different impact on your body, on your energy, on your weight, on your cravings. I mean, this is gold. So that's how to balance your blood sugar. The specifics are different for each person, and this is depending on your tastes and preferences and what your body responds to. When I work with my clients, I give them customized recipes that help you balance or nourish your body, balance your blood sugar, and feel in control. And I help you learn to trust your body and what it needs by teaching you how to tune into your body and connect to your intuition. So one of my clients was super resistant to eating breakfast and lunch because she had such a busy work schedule. She felt she didn't have time to plan ahead or put anything together, and she believed that she was doing good by eating less all day. And at the same time, she was having these awful cravings. She wasn't listening to her body, and she was overeating every night. And she was really just at the point of exhaustion, where I remember she was telling me there were days that she could hardly even stand up. So we worked together to shift some things for her. And now she's eating 3 to 4 meals and snacks every day. She feels amazing in her body. She's totally connected to her body. And she has this incredible amount of energy. And she told me she feels alive in ways that she never has before, which is what really, really makes my heart sing. And this is Nina, and she has an incredible testimonial that she sent to me about a month ago that I just cried when I read. And it's beautiful, and we have her live on the call. But what I want to read here, just the biggest thing of all, is that I finally accept myself and love myself, and I'm actually excited about life, which is an awesome experience. So she has more to share. You can read more about that on my website if you want. And we're going to come and see Nina. I am inviting you on as a speaker. Let's see if this is working. Let me see. Oops. Okay. Shoot. I can't hear you, Nina. Are you on? You can either text or shoot a little note in the chat box. Janice, I see you're asking, can we go over the PowerPoint at a later date? I can send specific slides if you want that, but there's like 150 of them or something. Okay, so Nina, you're here. And I'm here. Awesome. Shoot, I don't know why we don't have Nina. Well, Nina, could you type in the chat box, since we can't hear you, just share a little bit about where you were at when we met, and where you are now and the difference that this work has made for you. And Janice, I see you missed the first 20 minutes. So the other thing is, actually, yes, we do have an opportunity to go over all the slides again. Not tonight, but I'll be sending out a replay so you guys can watch this again. Okay, so unfortunately, our fabulous Nina is not able to share. So if you would just share in the chat room, that would be fantastic. And actually, let me try one other thing. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay. All right. Well, we love you, Nina. You have an incredible testimonial. I'll put that back up here, and people can see that. Okay. Great. Oh, so now, well, here's another time we're seeing all the slides. Okay. And sorry about this, guys. Stick with me. Great. Okay. Nina, we love you. You're beautiful. You have an incredible testimonial. And now let's get into the emotional aspect of what's going on. So yes, what you eat and how you eat is so important. Eating real whole foods and balancing your blood sugar will absolutely change your life. It has an incredible impact on how you feel on your body. You have more energy, less stress, you're able to lose weight, and that's not the end of the story. There's another reason that you're overeating, another reason that you're holding on to the weight. You're eating over your emotions. There's a reason why you're not just eating for balance and nourishment in the first place. And some of it might be what you were taught and how you were raised to eat, but even that is going to come from something deeper in yourself that was passed on, and that's something we can get into a little deeper one-on-one. The women who come to me are the ones who get that this isn't just about the weight. They get that there's something more going on. So, what can you do? Start to listen to your body. Get in tune with your body. Allow yourself to feel your emotions and let them move through you. And here's a process that you can practice when you're feeling triggered. It's a 4-step process, and I came up with an acronym to make it easy to remember: SAFE, S-A-F-E. So the first step, S, stands for surroundings. Change them. Whatever you can do, if you can leave the room, get out of the kitchen. If you're driving, maybe pull over the car. Whatever you can do to just change your surroundings. And what this does is it just interrupts the pattern. We want to interrupt the pattern of getting triggered and turning to food at any point that we can. So as soon as possible, even if you just like turn around and look behind you, you're actually taking in new input to your brain. So that can actually make a difference. A stands for arrive. Actually be in the new space. Once you walk into the next room, don't just jump to the next step. Actually be in the new space. Take a deep breath. Allow yourself to land. F stands for feel. Allow yourself to feel what's there. And sometimes this is, kind of scary or uncomfortable because, it's clearly the thing we don't want to feel. That's the thing that we're eating over. And this is so crucial. It's so important to just allow yourself to feel what's there. And, if you don't have the time or space, or if it's a little scary to, what is going to be there, just naming it can be a huge help. So if you can just say, oh, I'm just feeling lonely, that's what that is. Okay, then that's great. And then E stands for explore. Ask yourself, what do I really need? You know, maybe you need to laugh. Maybe you need some fresh air. Maybe you need a hug. Maybe you need to take a bath, and maybe you need a vacation. I don't know. There's so many things that we can do that become available to us when we really explore, other than food. Because what you need is not really a cookie. So the thing to do is to stop focusing on the weight and start focusing on what's happening underneath. And take on that this is a personal journey. It's not going to look like anyone else's. There's no cookie cutter solution that works for everyone. It's about getting honest with yourself and loving yourself and getting to the root of what's really going on for you. Anything other than that will only give you surface results that don't last. If you want a real transformation in your relationship with food and your body, you have to go deeper than a diet plan. You have to connect to yourself, to your body, and to your emotions. And this connection takes practice and it takes courage. But your body holds the wisdom that will tell you everything you need to know. And here's a text that I got from another client, Anne Marie. She said, I have recognized that seeking to love myself has been a struggle because I've been trying to generate that self-love from the wrong center. I've been spinning my wheels trying to love myself from my broken and wounded center of self, instead of looking for the deeper spiritual love within myself that exists always as pure love. By reaching into that place, I know I can accomplish so much more in the way of self-love and self-care. And that was just a breakthrough that she had, and she sent me a text. I was so happy to get that. And now I want to dive into the psychological aspect. And this is where smart, successful women get really tripped up. Because you're smart and successful, you're also really logical and cerebral. The world makes sense to you in a particular way, and you're able to navigate it and utilize your intelligent mind to your advantage. Most of you know enough about nutrition to be dangerous. You've read the books, the articles, the studies. You could probably teach a class on nutrition. But here's the other thing that's happening. You've created your life to be exactly how it is based on your beliefs about yourself and the way the world is. Within your belief system, everything makes sense. You think that you just have to have more discipline, try harder to do the things you think you should do, the things you already know. So does this sound familiar? Share with us in the chat box that I just need to try harder. I just need to have more discipline. I just need to, I know what to do. I'm just not doing it. And when you just try to do more of what you think you should do, everything is still within your framework of beliefs, right? And your beliefs are what got you to where you are now. So what is this thing that's holding you back? That's your subconscious mind. Now, your subconscious mind controls anywhere from 95 to 99% of your behavior. I really want you to get that, because so much of the time we're living in our conscious mind, and that's why we get frustrated, because we know what to do, we're just not doing it. But 95 to 99% of your behavior is actually your subconscious mind. So in order to make real change, you need to shift your subconscious mind so that it's aligned with your conscious mind. Each of us has unique programming that was formed when we were young. right? This is, again, why this is a personal journey, because we have our own unique experiences that we went through, how our minds were formed into the beliefs that we have now, right? And it's all based on our 3 basic human needs: the need for love, need for safety, and the need for belonging. And the 3 biggest fears that keep smart, successful women from losing weight are the fear of losing love, safety, and belonging. This is the root of self-sabotage. I want to share an example with you. So one of my clients came to me saying that one of the things that she wanted was to lose weight and shine her light. But as we worked together, we uncovered an underlying fear that if she loses weight and shines her light, well, she'll attract attention. She'll start to get noticed by men. And because of this traumatic incident in her past, getting that attention felt incredibly unsafe for her. So she wasn't even aware that this was happening, but the underlying belief was, if I lose weight, I won't be safe. Can you see how that makes sense? So in the chat box, I want to hear from you. Where do you see a pattern where you're self-sabotaging and don't know why? So you don't have to know exactly what the belief is, but just if you have an inkling or if you see a pattern of where it's showing up, share that with us in the chat box. And then share, what would it be like if you could be free from the thing that's been sabotaging you? What would open up for you? What would that make available for you? Because that belief, that self-sabotaging belief, is going to trump everything. So with my client, we could talk about balancing her blood sugar, which is necessary. And I could help her get more connected to her body and her emotions, which is also necessary. But until she was able to feel safe at a subconscious level, she wasn't going to release the weight. We had to discover her blind spot. So it's not that you don't have the discipline and willpower. It's just because there's a blind spot that hasn't been uncovered yet. And it's been hidden from your view because that's the way that you formed your beliefs. And this is the most crucial piece of all. Because if your beliefs aren't aligned with having what you want, you're just going to keep going back to doing what you've always done, regardless of any amazing advice you get. And what's waiting on the other side is the peace and freedom and joy that you've been longing for all along. And speaking of peace, freedom, and joy, I want to introduce you to another one of my clients. But before we do that, I have an invitation for you. We've just covered a lot of great stuff, and there's so much more. I want to invite everyone on this call who resonates with this work to sign up for a complimentary Love Your Body breakthrough session with me. This session is for anyone who's wondering, what are the foods that are right for my body? How can I connect to my body and my emotions to access that inner guidance and still feel safe? What are my blind spots? In other words, how do I take all of this and make it happen for me? I would love to help you put all of these pieces together. And I've opened my calendar to a limited number of complimentary Love Your Body breakthrough sessions. And you can apply for one at kristencancer.com/apply. Now I'm gonna, I have a link for you guys. I'm gonna back over here and get that going so that you can just click and get there. Let your body breakthrough session load and display. Okay, great. So I just put a link up for everyone. You can just click on that. It'll take you to kristenkessler.com/apply. And oops, back to the slideshow. So I'm going to have to master this part of it. Got a lot of slides for you guys. Okay, great. Okay, here we are. Now, I want to be really clear about this. This isn't for everyone. It's not a quick fix. It's not a diet plan. If what I've shared with you tonight resonates, and if you want to discover your blind spots and finally break free from self-sabotage, if you're ready and open to the exploration and to having a breakthrough, and if you want someone who will be there with you to walk you through it every step of the way, I want you to apply for a one-on-one session right now. So again, that link is there for you. And during your session, here's what we do. We just dive in to get clarity on what you really want, to discover what's stopping you, and to see what support you need to heal your relationship with food in your body and create the life you want to live. And I have a bonus. So I want to reward anyone who's ready to take action now. I feel really strongly about this. So if you know that this work is for you and that this is your path, and you decide during our one-on-one call, our complimentary one-on-one call, to work with me, I'm going to gift you a guided meditation to help you get out of your head and in tune with your body. I asked my friend and colleague Nandi Hatenyan, she's a transformational life coach, to put this together specifically for my clients. And I felt that this would be an incredible complement to the work that I do with my clients. It's an exquisite meditation, and it's our gift to you if you sign up for a session and decide to work with me. So take a minute now. There's no pressure here. Check in with yourself. And if you feel called to take the next step, apply for a session and let's discover how I can support you to take these next steps. And again, that bonus is free to anyone who decides to work with me and applies for a session by the end of this webinar. Now, we still have a bit to go. We're going to go at least till 6:30, and we've got Q&A and talking to Stephanie. So you've definitely got some time. So start filling that out now. And talking about Stephanie, so I have, oh, she is so beautiful. I'll just read through this real quick. In December 2014, I could hardly look in the mirror without feeling an instant reaction of shame for how poorly I treated my body. I was overweight, unhappy, and searching for a solution to once and for all come to peace with the woman I knew was somewhere under the wall of fat. I had tried every diet and worked with many specialists, but nothing seemed to help me understand why I couldn't stick to a food plan or even look directly into my own eyes and tell myself I love you. Little did I know that my life was going through a major shift when I started working with Kristen. Her approach of focusing on the why I was doing what I was doing oftentimes led to tears, but good tears. And lots of laughs. I will add that, Stephanie. We have a blast in our conversations. I began to see that my eating habits had little to do with what I was actually eating, but rather beliefs I had chosen to carry through my life until this point. As I continue to work with Kristen, I become more confident in my body. I've lost 40 pounds and counting, and this is from December. But more importantly, I finally feel comfortable looking at the woman in the mirror and saying, I love you. So Stephanie, we are going to bring you on before we jump into Q&A here. And stop that. Okay. Stephanie, hey!
Hi.
Yay, it's working!
It's working. And I got to tell you, just having you read that makes me emotional because I have come so far with your help and the work that we've done together. So it's been very powerful.
Awesome. So tell everyone, I mean, we had a great synopsis there, but tell us just in your own words right now, where were you at when we met, when we started working together, and what had you sign up?
Yeah, so I had tried everything. You know, I had struggled with my weight and how I felt about my body for a good 15 years. And when I found you, the thing that really clicked with me was it wasn't really about the food. It was about the emotions tied to it. And I had known for a long time that there had to be some sort of emotional connection because no diet would work for me. And so when I came to you, I was really in a dark place. I really struggled kind of every day to live my life and be part of my life. And so I was really seeking guidance and not really understanding what sort of guidance I needed. And it wasn't until we started to explore the emotions tied to my binge eating and what I was really doing that I was able to let go of all of this. And there's still a long way to go, but I think that's been the process. Is it's really been letting go. And you know, some of this 40 pounds is a lot of emotional weight. And when I say that, it's just I finally gave myself permission to let go of the weight. I didn't feel like I needed to hide myself any longer. I could be who I was, and that weight didn't need to be there anymore.
Amen.
Yeah.
And it's so incredible to see the change in you. I mean, physically and just your energy and your light and just you showing up so fully. It's just such a beautiful process. Thank you for being so open and always sharing that.
Absolutely. And I think that that's part of why I've been so successful working with you is the willingness to be open. You know, and you create such a safe environment that I feel comfortable doing that. But when we're working together, we're really touching on things that I didn't want to touch on. And there was a reason I didn't want to touch on them because they're vulnerable. But you have given that space where it's okay. And we joke about it, but it's okay that I cry, right? I mean, I spend an hour sometimes and I cry the entire hour, and that's okay. Because what comes of those tears is really a release. And it's really letting go of what I've held on for so long. And, you know, and sometimes it's repetitive. And I think that's something to remember too is, you know, we're not a quick fix. You know, this is a journey. And so there's often topics that you and I kind of revisit multiple times because I need to revisit them because they've been part of me for so long that it takes more than, you know, one conversation to let go of years of beliefs about myself.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'll share, like, it's the same for me. You know, I had just a couple of weeks ago, I was looking at my own stuff and I was like, oh, I wish I had me to coach me. We have these like years or even decades of patterns and emotions and things that we haven't revisited from. I mean, in our last session, you know, we went back to something that happened when you were 4. That people don't just revisit this stuff on their own, you know. And they don't really know to, or it's just not something that comes natural because we're built to protect ourselves from it. Yeah. So having that space and that guidance and just to be able to go there and visit and explore and see what it is. And it's so awesome because, you know, there have been a couple of times in sessions with you where you're, you know, at the beginning of the session, it's just like, there's all this, like, no pun intended, but like heaviness and weight. And then at the end, you're like, woo!
I feel so much better.
What was that?
Yeah. But I think that that's so true, right? And I think that oftentimes those that struggle with weight don't realize how heavy our emotions are. You know, we associate the physical weight, but we don't really think about well, a lot of this may be sadness or anger or shame. You know, for me, a lot of my weight was shame because I spent so many years binge eating, and that was how I comforted myself. And so being able to release that is really, it's been really healthy. You know, and I think one of the things I want everyone on the call to know is the thing that I appreciate most about our working together is that you're a hand to hold, right? I mean, you just offer this space, the safe space, and I feel like, you know, I did, right? I called a couple days ago, sent a text, and I was in a dark place. And, you know, it was just the encouragement, right? And knowing that, you know, it's a neutral party, because I've spent a lot of years, you know, thinking, oh, maybe my family can help me, right? Oh, maybe I can talk to my friends, or maybe I can do this. And it really wasn't until you and I met and I realized I needed someone who didn't know me, right? They didn't know me and my history until I started to share that. And I think by sharing that with you, it allowed me to hear my story and recognize part of this is stuff I need to let go of, right? This is old parts of me that it's okay to be over that and to move on from that. So I think just having that neutrality has been really key to my success with you as well.
And that's so great. You know, another thing that you touched on there is just having someone like new and neutral who doesn't know the stuff, and that you really get to, I mean, transformation happens in communication. It happens in being witnessed, and it happens in your words and sharing. And I mean, you know, we can write in our journal all day long, and that's great and helpful, and I recommend that. And that's that can only get you so far. Yeah. And it's really in like the relationship, and you can see where you're changing. And you know, sometimes it's like you'll say something and I'll tweak a little word, and you're like, oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh. And we look at what you're creating for yourself, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. And also, you know, looking at as much as we love our friends and family, and they're really crucial. Like having that support. You have an incredible support circle that was there, but also that we've really cultivated.
Yeah,
that's so huge. And I love seeing how much more you're connected, not just, I mean, you guys, Stephanie is like remarkable. It's ridiculous. You're connected to yourself. You're connected to your spirituality. You're connected to your body. You're connected to your family, your friends. I mean, it's just, and you're like doing Soul Cycle, and you did like some like 10K or something. What? You're training for a marathon?
Yeah, I'm doing a half marathon in October, and I did 2 rides of Soul Cycle today. So that's with the wet hair. Excuse the wet hair, but
that's amazing. I love it.
So yeah, it works.
That's so awesome. I want to jump into the chat room.
Yeah, I would love any questions. If anyone has any questions or anything that I could help clarify or answer, I'd be happy to.
Awesome. And there is like a 20-second delay, I think, in Google, in the Google Hangouts, and then maybe people are typing. So it might be a little bit before they come in. And I see, oh, Nina, you're still here. I'm going to see if we're going to try to get Nina on. Let me get Nina in here. Okay. I just do not know what's going on with that. Okay. Well, Megan, yay, I see you booked. I'm so excited to chat with you more. Yeah, so we have just a few minutes left. Does anyone have any questions? This is your big chance. You can ask me, you can ask Stephanie. I'm just gonna look through. Oh, you know, I also have to see. I think there's actually also a question room. So let me see if there's anything there.
While you're looking for that, I just want to encourage everyone on the phone that you're on this call for a reason. right? There was something that triggered you to spend an hour of your evening to listen to what Kristen had to say. And so, even if there's just a little inkling and you're just kind of wondering, I wonder if this is something for me, I really encourage you to have that conversation, right? And at least kind of explore what might be there. And this month may not be the time for you. Maybe it's 2 months from now. Maybe it's 6 months from now. But if there's something that's in your gut right now that's saying, I'd like to know more. I'd like to, to really let go of some stuff. This is a really cool opportunity. And I have tried everything out there, so I can speak from experience and saying, like, it will change your life. Whenever you choose to, that working with Kristen will change your life.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You know that. I've told you that many times.
Oh, yeah. So I see one question. Oh, and Stacy signed up. Awesome. Oh, I'm so glad you loved the webinar. Okay, Megan asked, for you, Stephanie, what were the main changes that worked for you?
So the main thing was honesty, right? I finally was honest with myself. I had gone from the point where I was eating pints of ice cream every night to numb myself. And I have not had a pint of ice cream since Kristen and I started working together. And the reason that's huge. But the reason that's important was I was finally willing to acknowledge it. I know that Kristen and I were probably like in a month into our session. And I remember that I got my binge food, the binge food that I used to always rely on. And I remember bringing it to our session and literally laying it out on the table and saying, I've never done this. I've never shown anyone the food that I would choose to eat by myself. And that was a big turning point. It really was letting someone in to what I was considered very shameful. For me to eat that food, there was a lot of shame associated with it. So it really was that shift of being honest. And I think the other thing is the baby steps. I was definitely the person, and I still struggle with it, but all or nothing. And I think what I'm learning is it's one day at a time. And sometimes it's one meal at a time. But that's okay, because I think once you're on this journey, time goes quickly in a good way. But you look back, and like we look back, and December feels like not that long ago, but yet I've come so far. So I really do think that the honesty and the baby steps really add up.
Yeah. And one thing I want to sort of a non sequitur here, but just so people know, Stephanie and I meet in person. She's local. And I also work virtually. So on the phone, on Skype, I work with anyone, anywhere. So you don't have to be nearby to have a session. So I just wanted to put out there, tie a little bow on that, and come back to our conversation. There was something else that you just shared that that I was struck by, and I'm forgetting. Oh, I just love the confidence that you have in yourself and your body. And I remember like one of the first, it was like just after a couple of sessions or something, when you went to Hawaii and you were with your family and walking around in your swimsuit without a towel around you, and your family was like,
what happened to her?
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. And that's something where, when you start to get that positive feedback from your friends and your family, when they start to see a shift in you, it's really encouraging, and so I didn't think anything, it's silly, but I didn't think anything of it until my sister was like, you're walking around without a towel in a bathing suit with mom and dad in Hawaii. Like, let's register how far you've come. So, again, but those are the baby steps. Those are the baby steps. So
yeah, it's amazing. And I see there are a couple of people that have been sharing that they've booked sessions. I'm super excited. I want to just remind you guys, click that button. It looks like we might be wrapping up kind of soon. Stephanie and I can probably talk for hours.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous.
But I want to wrap up. I just want to, everyone on the call, if there's anything that I could answer for you afterwards, feel free. Kristen will be it's fine to give out in my contact information, but just from one person to another who's struggled with this journey, there are people out there that want to help you and that want to encourage you and hold your hand. And so we are around and we are available. So, best of luck. And I hope to see you guys on another webinar in the future.
Yay! Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephanie. I love you. You're amazing. Thank you, everyone, for showing up for yourself to be on this call and to really get something for yourself out of it. I look forward to connecting with everyone that signed up for a session. You still have like a minute left, so you can get that in if you haven't signed up yet. But I love you. I appreciate you. I can't wait to connect with you and talk to you soon. Mwah.